Do you want tea?
Yeah, I guess for my voice.
Yeah, I guess you have some tea.
Nope, I don't want any. Put it back.
Good afternoon from Grand Lake.
Welcome back, folks. We are here in Grand Lake, Colorado. We are giving you a quick episode of the 1.9D show. We just did Novice Day here in Grand Lake. It is Friday. And it was a beautiful, warm day. Emma, you got really wrapped up in volunteering with like a main position. What did you do today?
I did a lot. I showed up just when I like to have a job. I need to have a job. And I showed up looking for a job, and man, I found one.
You salted the entire track.
Yeah, so I helped unload some boxes. I salted the entire track, and then I ended up running this part of the start gate.
Yeah, so it was
I had a megaphone.
Yes, you were megaphoning the people in, and then Janelle Urista was calling clear tracks.
Janelle was calling skiers. I was calling riders.
Okay.
So for the most part.
Gotcha. And how was that? Did you have fun?
It was so fun. Delphine started doing it. Delphine's one of our organizers. And she did it for maybe the first third, and I think her voice was getting really tired. She's been working her tail off for months and really, like, especially weeks, really grinding. And I was right there looking for a job, so she handed me the megaphone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And for those of you at home wondering, what the extra noises are, we are in a hotel right now in Grand Lake. The small portion of this room that you can see has been more or less put together. It's a nightmare everywhere around here. We are 3 races left to go in the season. Mm-hmm. We got to watch Novice today.
And so, sorry, finish that thought. The reason you're probably hearing noises is because next door to us, what we heard was a man just dropped off a kindergarten's worth of small children and said, I'll be back. So yeah, that's what's going on over there.
So by our estimate, what are there? 3 children over there under the age of 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's what you're hearing.
Yeah. So here we are. And
so anyway, today was Novice Day.
Yep.
Ran really smooth. It took 2 hours and 15 minutes start to finish for 63 teams, I believe, to run. We only rolled a couple teams. Mm-hmm. The track is
I felt bad.
big.
This is probably one of the most rowdy tracks we've seen this year. The features are insane. And I hope some of these novice guys walked in and were just like, holy smokes.
What have I done?
And then be like, no, you're okay. You don't have to do that. But I hope some novice skiers were shooking their boots a little bit today. Yeah.
I think that everybody, any brand new to the sport novice skiers got a real intro to ski joy today.
And even, that being said, obviously they're not going over the gap jumps, but man, they set
a hard novice course.
Difficult. Yeah. I actually know the number of teams that cleaned today. Do you know this number?
I've counted, but I forgot.
6. 6 teams cleaned the track. Mm-hmm. The fastest time was a 26-second run. He's in first place, I think, by 3 whole seconds.
4
whole seconds. And second place is Richard Weber. And then how they're going to do it at this race is they're taking up the top 8
into the sport
division. So,
I love that format. I think it's the best, as opposed to having the novice go all the way separately through the weekend, and it's a whole other division. It's a whole other course to set. I love just rolling them up. I'm
100% opposite of you. I would love to see 10 qualified to compete all weekend within their own event.
I also don't think it makes sense if you're doing a Friday Novice Day to have it be, because then it turns into only novice is a 3-day event, which is kind of wild for a novice division to run 3 days.
That's fair.
Open doesn't even have to do that.
Well, they did it Ridgeway. That is true.
But
you get to pay to play.
I love, Ridgeway and Grand Lake have done it this way, and I think it makes more sense. And it's the cleanest way to do it.
I mean, Novice Day is, the greatest. I've been in ski joying for such a short amount of time, but the greatest thing brought into the sport since I've been here.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because there's, especially with the explosion that you've seen in ski joy, that so many people want to try this sport out. I think it's just awesome to dedicate an entire day to just letting these people try it.
Right.
And even if people have been in talk about this later, but even if people have been in novice for a couple years and like a novice skier just isn't ready for sport, like it's awesome to just have that whole day dedicated to.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And I personally think we could run an entire, like 130 teams is what an event is.
Especially when you're running it as smoothly as they ran it today.
Oh my gosh, we were done. We were done so fast.
They did a great job today.
Yeah. It was fun to watch. I always love watching the novice. It's fun to watch them in the gate, getting ready. It's just like that bright-eyed, bushy tail. Like you miss it almost. Like, man, I remember the days.
Yeah.
Like
really
my
warms
first
your
race.
heart.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously like this, I've barely competed, but it's so nice to see people who are just like nervous and excited and like doing it. And
and I love seeing all the old school guys out there, the veterans, helping. Janelle Urista, all Nick Burry was on the track flagging. Malcolm Siemens was on the track flagging gates. Just like everyone's like, sure, let's help them out.
Yeah.
Let's get them through the race.
It's almost like a county fair vibe.
Yep.
I love it.
100%.
Yeah.
And a good amount of people already in town. Obviously, the explosion tomorrow is going to be, it's going to be insane. And hopefully we get this up posted tonight. Today, though, breaking news. Jed Moore released a Ski-Jor manifesto. And we wanted to dive into this a little bit and just go over some of our favorite points.
So this was an exhaustive, extensive document that Jed put a lot of work into. It was really thoughtful, and essentially it's really useful, I think, from my perspective. It's really useful for established competitors, but really this is most useful, I think, for people getting into the sport. It talks a lot about etiquette. It talks a lot about just like the basics of how to prepare, what to do. But there were some really just, I think, interesting points that we pulled, and maybe we'll discuss. Yeah, those.
So we're going to go through a few of our favorite slides, I guess, and we're going to link the PDF file in this video. So definitely go check out the full document. It's not intimidatingly large, but we're going to go through just some of our favorite points.
Yeah, it's large enough that you don't want us to read it to you.
Or maybe you do, and if you do, that's your own problem. Oh my gosh, back to that. Do you see Harley's comment? Yeah. You're like, so essentially just DM you guys.
Yeah, pretty much all we need is DMs. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We were like, this comment is actually wonderful. Thank you.
We needed this, thanks.
So yeah, do you want to get into it? I'll let you read
some
of the slides and we'll talk about it.
Sure. So we picked 3 main points. I'll read the first one and then we can discuss. So the first point that we want to talk about, Jed talked about division appropriate entering. So he wrote here, with the rising popularity of ski-joring, the number of available race spots is significantly lower than the number of participants wanting to compete. At several races this year, I've seen competitors entering whatever division wasn't already full. If you've never ski-jored before, your first race entered should be novice division, period. Every horse owner thinks their horse is fast until they run against fast horses. Every skier thinks they can ski-jor fast until they race against seasoned ski-jor racers. Yes, there are some exceptions to incoming competitors, but they are few and far between. He goes on to say, the personal risk of being in a division above your ability on a course intended for more experienced racers is high. Riders, if your horse isn't legged up enough to handle loping or running 600 to 1,200 feet twice a day, 4 times in a weekend, often at higher elevations, you are not doing them any favors and you're a bad competitor. Period. Bold statement.
Called out.
But not bold, honestly. It's not good for your health, your horse's health, and it's not good for our sport. Be humble, step up, and do it right.
Yeah, so I think this really talks to, those kids. Coming into the sport, and we have seen this happen where it's like, well, there was openings in the open division. And you watch these guys step up in powder skis. And, we saw it today. A brand new skier came in. This is Malcolm Siemens' friend. They ski raced together all throughout college. And even Malcolm was like, he's a better racer than I am. And he was in the novice division today. He did win, but his first few turns, very squirrely. He didn't understand what the power of that rope was going to feel like.
Yeah, I've never skied in ski-jor, and I'm not much of a skier. Yeah. But we've talked a lot about how different ski-jor versus downhill skiing is because you're being pulled by a totally different force.
Yeah.
But I think that this point is largely a really good point, but I think that in my eyes, the novice division is for novice level skiers and novice level horses. You know, I think it's a given if you're entering as a rider, you know how to ride a horse. I would hope. I think that this whole manifesto should start with saying you should not enter if you don't know how to ride a horse.
You should know how to ride a horse. You should know how to ski, because we've seen that a lot this year too.
Yeah, but I think that the novice division exists for novice level skiers and novice speed horses.
So I
maybe don't 100% agree with with what this point is saying.
Yeah, I'm more on the side of like, I think if you are going to come into this sport of ski joring and compete at any level, you're getting a novice. I think you should be a very confident skier. But it's hard, right? Because there's space for people to come in and try it.
I think that's why novice exists, is for the people who aren't super confident skiers, and that's why it's an entirely different division. And I think that if you're not that great of a skier, or if you have just some draft horse that you really love to race or something, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with those competitors staying in novice for years and years and years.
Well, yeah, we see a lot of draft horses. Yeah, Lemon has been in the novice. She's a halflinger. But Ziggy is another one, and these horses stay in the novice for a very long time.
That's novice speed, and that's the novice speed horse for a novice level skier.
Or a snowboard speed, one and the same. Just call you guys out quick while we're here.
You out quick, you mean? Jeez.
That's true. I'm a snowboarder now. I stink, though.
You snowboarded more than you skied this year.
That's a fact. That's so sad. Oh, my God. So anyway, I think, it's tough because the sport is becoming so competitive. So, in my brain, I'm just like, no, you should be a very good skier before you even consider coming in. But to your point, it's like a lot of people just want to try this.
And maybe when, even when you started a few years ago or many years ago, it was different, where it was a clear kind of pathway where you start in novice and then you keep going, you move to sport, you move to open, because there weren't as many people that wanted to try the sport. But now in my mind, the novice is almost there's so many people that want to try it. The novice is like the tryout division,
right? And when it's a full day, when you get a full, now that we don't have to run novice at some events on Saturday and Sunday before the main events, that helps so much, and we can get so many more competitors in there trying it. The pressure's not on. It's like
I think we've seen this at some other races this season where there's just so many divisions. It becomes a really long day, if you're participating, but also as for spectators. And that, going back to my point, is that's why I think there's such high value in having a novice day.
1,000%. Yeah, novice day is, I think, the best invention in ski joring since ski joring itself.
Okay, relax.
I mean, what else would be the gap jump? Like, okay, that was a pretty big breakthrough. But
I mean, a tie-freeze ring really set.
Oh my gosh, tie-free. We're still talking about it, dude.
I think that was a good invention.
Yeah. Yes, and hopefully seeing more exciting things in that field. But getting back to what this episode is about. The manifesto. So let's move on from this point. Thank you so much, Jed. Next up was a point that I think we both really liked. We might not even have critiques on this. Yes.
I don't know. That was really the only critique of the whole thing I had.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that we were on opposite sides of that one a little bit.
I know. Whatever. So next, Jed talks about earning your place at elite races. He writes, just because you want to compete at a ski jor race doesn't mean that you get to run at the biggest and best races in the country. Using rodeo as an example, rookie or permit-holding contestants are not eligible to compete at the best rodeos like Cheyenne, Houston, or Calgary until they have competed and won at smaller rodeos. This is the general direction ski jor is going. Invite only for veteran competitors in upper divisions and lottery for lower division spots. It isn't personal. The industry will always take care of those who have taken care of it. I love this.
I love this so much.
So very much.
Because I am a huge advocate of the invitation. A huge advocate.
Well, I would assume that the reason you're an advocate of that is the same reason that I love this point, which is that I really don't think much of when people just assume that they don't have to earn places.
Yeah, we're pretty sensitive to the, I guess you could call it entitlement.
Yeah.
Attitude and like, oh well, I'm XYZ, but at the end of the day, you know, like he says, it's not personal. It's about preserving the spectator experience, and it's about delivering a competitive race.
And to another point, I think like this is such a great tight-knit community with people who have worked really, really hard to get it as far as it's come. And yeah, just people who are really good to each other. And I think that to assume that you can just sign up for the Open because you want to be in the Open without establishing yourself or just meeting people or kind of just like pulling your weight in the community a 100%. Little bit is bananas.
But it's like, and it goes back to the point of when you're at these open registration events and they're signing up 200 teams and you see these teams in the Open.
And it's like, oh, nobody vetted this spectator experience.
Right. And nobody vetted the competitor to be like, oh, you're going to get hurt. Or, most open teams are running a 16-second and you guys just cleaned it 23. Like, what happened?
Right. Or you missed 7 gates. Or,
right. It's, I think it all comes back to spectator experience. And like you said, we've had so many people support the community for so long. And they've earned their place at competing in those big, amazing races at the top level.
Totally. Yeah, I think it's a better when you have to earn your spot to some degree. I think it's better for everybody.
Yeah. This next point might be my favorite because it ties directly into that like entitlement thing, and I think this is so beautiful.
I agree. I like this one a lot. So the last point we'll talk about is Jed says volunteer if you can't enter.
Hold on. Pause. Volunteer if you cannot enter is the most. That is the best advice. The best advice. Go ahead. Go read it.
We'll make our points after. After Jed makes
Sorry,
his
everybody.
point,
I got so excited.
Jed says, rather than throwing your sucker in the dirt and going home if you can't get a spot, you can choose to still be a part of the event as a volunteer. Every event I have ever attended utilized volunteers for production. What better way to immerse yourself in this sport than by being a part of an event? I would venture to say that if you served your time as a volunteer for a weekend, that producer would put you in as a competitor the following year. Some races have already implemented this model.
Now, asterisk, this is not a guaranteed model of like, oh, go volunteer and you're in next year. But I know many competitors who have messaged other competitors, well, non-competitors, I guess, who have messaged competitors like, how can I help you guys? Like, I'll groom, I can help feed and take care of horses. I just want to see how this sport is done. It's amazing. And then it's like, oh, well, come to think of it, there's like, we have a horse. Can you ride? And it just starts the conversation. And people who are willing to just like be on the track and call gates or pass ropes. And there's so much to do. And then, you meet so many people in a start gate.
It's also just like everyone. A really fun way to be involved. Like as someone who really likes to have a job, and who's like really enjoying all the people I've met all season, like just helping out is a lot of fun,
And it puts you in front of the right people. It puts you in front of organizers. It puts you in front of top level competitors who are also helping the event. And it's like, oh, like if Janelle sees you, it's like, oh, who's that kid? They crushed it today. Like that's huge.
Totally.
So we got phones going off. We got kids in the other room. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon for you folks.
The wheels are coming off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that we have much more to say about this point other than we love it. I think that there's
love.
Yeah. There's so much to be said for just like being helpful. You're going to learn a lot, even my first race this year was Ridgeway, and I didn't volunteer there, but I was there on novice day before sport ran, and it was great for me to just, like get the lay of the land, see how the race went, see, like meet people, feel more comfortable in the environment. I think there's nothing to be lost by volunteering. Yeah.
So I think we picked 3 points out of how many were there total?
Maybe like 8 or 9. There were 16 pages total.
Yeah.
And this is available as a PDF if you.
Yeah. We're gonna link it for you guys. Absolutely check it out, especially for new competitors. I think it's more geared towards you, but like, it's always fun on the Facebook Marketplace, the Ski Jour page. like to watch the discourse happen in the comments is wonderful. We are highly entertained.
And this has been really largely positive.
Yes,
and
it has.
It's been really good discussion.
I mean, there's nothing in here that's
nothing is controversial. No.
They're all just like objectively good points, and it sheds light onto, you know, ski joring is a big world, and coming into it can be intimidating, and this really points you in the right direction, I think. Either as a new competitor or an existing, like I had so much fun reading this as a 3-year competitor. So
I like it a lot.
Well done, Jet.
Good
Thank
job,
you,
Jet.
sir. I think it was much needed, and I hope we see more documentation like this in the future.
Totally.
So tomorrow we go into the main event here at Grand Lake. We'll be on the ground. Yep.
We're going to have, so we have a youth and snowboard division. I'm very eager to see how they do their, what are they calling it? Their version of
the rowdy relay.
The relay.
Yes.
So this is a 3-person relay. We'll keep you updated how this
I
goes.
haven't heard.
We don't have
what
the official
needs to be
rules.
changed. My guess is they're going to have to swap a saddle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hot take.
That would, based on the illusions I've heard, that's my guess.
That would be crazy.
I know.
I would love to see some skiers saddling horses.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's happening. We also have a really stacked open and sport fields.
Yeah. And simply the biggest course I've ever seen.
The largest gap jump
I've
seen.
The tallest for sure.
Yeah. An entire bulldozer in the gap.
So if you're not out here this weekend, I'm not sure what you're doing, but you're missing out. So if you're within, 150 miles of Grand Lake, Colorado,
we would highly recommend you make the
highly
trip.
recommend. It's going to be a beautiful day, like warm. We got to enjoy this warm winter while we can.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the
nice
summer when
day
we
to be
get there. It's
outside.
going to be terrible, but right now it's kind of nice.
Maybe it'll be a wet spring.
That's very optimistic. I love it. Well, that's it. Anything else?
I don't
Let's
think
wrap
so.
this thing up, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.